Long way, get this shit a long way, this shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit, long way, 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 shit a long way. Gotta get the shot, get the shit a long way. Gotta get the shot, get the shot, get the shit long way. Finish rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way. Get the shot, know she don't really understand, man. Gotta know she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, she don't understand. She be tripping every day, she be tripping every way. But I gotta get this shit a long way. Tryna get money every single way. Tryna get money every single day, yeah. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves, yeah. No, we gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand, don't understand, niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we got hit lit, no, we ain't hit lit. Tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Coach is tryna wrap up a contract, yeah. Told you the other day that did my function. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a pong way. My name is Tari, I ain't playing games, up to nothing Tari. Yesterday she told me that she bout to leave, man. Said fuck it, bitch, we gonna get some money. Said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I want to get some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the pong way, yeah. Man, I'ma get this shit the long way, get this shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. You gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get this shit the long way, 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 yeah, we get shit the long way, yeah, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hello, everyone. Hello. All right, let me remove this. Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young, the founder of SMD. And what makes this channel different is that I have a gift. What is my gift? I have the ability to see negative numbers psychologically. That's why I got that alien photo up there, because what makes me an alien is that I know something that millions of people do not know in all capitalist economies, right? Now, you probably, if you hear me say the ability to see negative numbers psychologically, and you're like, and you don't know what that means, that means you live in the debt matrix. If that means nothing to you, you live in the debt matrix, and you're probably still confused. So I'll give you another example, like I always do, so I can help people along here. For those of you that believe you're a homeowner with a mortgage, open up your calculator app on your phone and enter your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, and then hit equal. As you look at the calculator, I just want you to listen to the sound of my voice. The reason why you believe you're a homeowner is because you cannot see negative numbers psychologically. You can obviously see them physically because you're looking at your calculator now, all right? And it still probably doesn't make sense, but that's because you live in a debt matrix. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the debt matrix? The debt matrix is the space between your calculator and your brain. You're looking at the negative numbers on your calculator, but by the time it passes through the debt matrix, you believe you're a homeowner. The debt matrix is where the banks set up shop. That's where they live, all the financial places, and it's all by choice, okay? Don't think when I say the banks are set up in the debt matrix, and they're ripping you off or stealing your money or doing bad things to you financially. They're not. You're doing it to yourself because you can't see negative numbers psychologically, because if you could, you would clearly see the banks are doing nothing to you, nothing. All capitalist economies are by choice. You get to choose which side of the economy you want to be on. It's a choice. Either you choose to trust the calculator or you don't. That's it. And the answer to everything is the ability to see negative numbers psychologically. Now, I'm really here to talk to you debt slaves, so you understand that you are a debt slave. Okay, you guys have no choices of anything. You guys just believe you do. You don't. All right, so I want you guys to understand, when you're born, you're part of a business. Whether you believe it or not is totally up to you. But as soon as you're born, you're assigned a number. It's called your Social Security number. Well, if they changed it to what it really is, it's really an EIN number. Now, you debt slaves, you guys always associate EIN numbers to strictly business. No, what about, there's an EIN number assigned to you too. That I know it says employer identification number, but it's also an employee identification number. But that's totally up to you which one you want your. Now swap out SSD, Social Security number, and put in EIN number, because that's what it really is. But under your case, it means employee identification number, because you choose to. They both begin with E, employer or employee. That's totally up to you. But as long as you're in debt, you will have always to your debt an employee number. You understand? The choice is because the business of you. This is what you guys, this is what you debt slaves keep messing up at. You personally have an employee number, and then you think you're going to go out and get an employer number? When you're an employee, you can't be the employer. You're the employee. Which one? You got to choose. You can't do that. If you don't own the business of yourself, how are you going to own a business outside of yourself? You can't. This is what makes me an alien. Everything I'm saying to you, I can prove mathematically. I can prove it to be 100% true. Everything. When you get out of debt, you'll understand everything, how it all works. And you'll never know, you will always know to never cheat on your taxes. Never. Even the word cheat should give you a hint. Cheating. You should, instead of cheating, ask yourself, why am I cheating? Like, think about a sports game. People cheat to try to get an advantage over somebody, in football games, basketball games, and then, people, the crowd will see them get away with it. It just happens. But why do you think they're cheating? Well, in taxes, because you don't know the rules. You don't know the rules because you're in debt. You guys all believe taxes are bad and evil. No, they're not. No, they're not. Only debt slave. Anybody you hear say that, because they're debt slaves. They're all debt slaves telling you the same old thing over and over. You don't know the reason why they're saying that, because they have an EIN number, personally, the business of themselves, employer number, identification number. If I have an employer, no, employee first time, but if I have an employer, an EIN number, I'm an employer. Why would I listen to a person with an employee identification number? That makes no sense. And you're probably thinking, what do I mean by that? Why would I take, here, let me give you an example. Why would I take a professional financial accountant who has student loans older than their business. That's an accountant with a personal EIN number, which is an employee identification number, as I have an employer identification. I would not listen to a person like that. That makes no sense. You think you guys don't know that makes no mathematical sense. This is how me and people like me can see you. Because when you guys speak about money, it makes no mathematical sense at all. No one gets a great deal on a finance car. Nobody. But you guys walk around as if you do. You know why? Because the business of you is not in order. This is why they sell you your future. Because you don't know. You're the only one that can create it. And if you don't know you're a debt slave, you have no future. That's why they sell it to you. That's why they tell you retirement's an age. It's no age. Who told you that? The internet? TV? Who's telling you that? Your job? Take a step back and say, hey, who's saying that? And then look around you and see if all your friends also believe retirement is an age. You guys are all debt slaves. Ask all your friends, hey, are you guys making payments on your cell phones? Are you financing your cell phones? If you and all your friends are financing cell phones, that's why you guys are all friends. You guys have EIN numbers, employee identification numbers. How do I know this? You're financing cell phones. Now, there's not many of us walking around to look at you when you talk about financing cell phones out in the open in public, and then talk about investing in the stock market at the same fucking time. How you gonna talk about investing in the stock market with a finance cell phone in your hand? You obviously got student loans. You got the wrong EIN number for the business of yourself. That's the problem. Do the opposite of the majority. Don't cheat on your taxes. How about you just follow the rules to the T and see what happens? First, get out of debt so you can see the true purpose of taxes. Okay. First, get out of debt personally so you can see the true purpose of taxes, and then you'll clearly see what they're there for and why tax evasion is so severe. You get it because you don't have to cheat. The word cheat should give you a hint that you don't know something. That's why you're cheating. What the majority of you guys don't know, this is what will change your life. You can believe me or not, it's totally up to you, but this is what I strongly suggest you do. If you want, you're listening to me and you're kind of glitching out and saying, damn, but he's right, but you still can't grasp it. I get it, because the debt matrix is strong. It's a program. Okay. And it has to be that way. It has to be that way. All you got to do is say, hey, you got a professional accountant, a professional tax person, especially a tax fucking lawyer. Believe that, the higher up on the chain dealing with taxes, this is all you got to say. Do you still have your student loans? If they say yes, you say you're fired. They're going to say why. You're going to say, please explain to me mathematically, why do you have student loans older than your tax business? Tax business? Wait a minute, professional person. You don't know, wait a minute. You don't know that you cannot get tax breaks if you're in debt? You don't know that? You're fired. If you're in debt, you cannot get any kind of tax breaks. None. Zero. Let me tell you what else makes me an alien. It doesn't matter if I say this out loud. Do you guys understand that? It doesn't matter. Debt slaves can't hear me. They have no idea what I'm saying. You guys think I'm joking. Even though I can mathematically prove everything I'm saying, they still won't believe it. That's the power of it. I get it, and I totally love it. I respect this economy. I respect it because it commands it. How in the hell do you get millions of people to believe they're homeowners with 30-year mortgages? How you do that? Respect? That commands respect. Let alone the mortgage. How do you get people to believe that it takes 30 years of their life to pay off one fucking house? Respect. That commands respect. Congratulations, you got all mine. When I'm off the mic, do you guys think I talk like this in public? Hell no, I don't do that. Nope. I don't want you guys looking at me in public talking about what the hell is he talking about? He's crazy. It doesn't work like that. You can't do nothing without credit. You think I'm gonna talk to you guys out in public? I'm not. And I want you guys to clearly understand something. I just discovered my gift fully this year. This year. And what I can see now, I didn't design it. Okay. Do you understand that? Just because I can see something that was placed there. That's what I can see. So that means somebody made that. I don't even ever try that I say I know everything ever. I will never say that. I probably won't even live long enough to know everything. But unless this is how it works, debt slaves. The business of you the business of you will always match the business outside of you. Let me say that one more time so you can get it. The business of you will always match the business outside of you. Okay, so if you have an EIN number, change your Social Security number to an EIN number, but your EIN is employee identification number. That's what yours is. So when you have an employee identification number, all the business outside of you will match you employee identification numbers. Those are the people you'll be talking to, all of them with EINs just like you, because they're in debt. But once you change your EIN number from an employee to an employer, it will match the EINs outside in business. That's how it works. Once you understand this, and then you see everybody else out there, you will see that the majority, and it must be this way, the majority have employee identification numbers. That's how it must be. That's how it is. And I don't want it to change. I do not. Because I know it was a choice. I chose to be in debt the majority of my life. I chose it. I chose it. Would you say, Gabriel, what was your mindset young before getting a student loan? My mindset was, if I don't get a college degree, I'm going to be nothing. And what is that? That's the program. That's what all the debt slaves say. That's what the TV says subliminally. If you don't get a college degree, you ain't going to survive. That's why they always throw up all these statistics. College people with college degrees earn this much more. That's why they throw all that bullshit up there so you can get it. They know debt slaves ain't got no money. So what are they going to do? They're going to borrow the student loan money. They're going to do it. Oh, it's worth it. When I get my job, I'll pay it back. And you guys rationalize. That's what you're supposed to do. That's how they make slaves, student loans. That's how they do it. That's what I mean by choice. You chose to borrow that money and decided to not pay it back. They said, if you take this money, you have to pay it back. They just said, you can take all your life to do it. If you choose to do that, you can pay back student loans your entire life if you choose to do it. Go to college for 4 years and pay on your student loans for 35, 40 years. That's totally up to you. Can you imagine how expensive college is if you pay it on it for 40 years? Yeah, that's pretty expensive. That was me. But you know what I did? I kept my student loans for 10 years. That's embarrassing enough. 10 years. Went to college for 3 because I went fast. I went through the summer. I just wanted to get through it because I started college in my early 30s. I just wanted to get through it. Finished it in 3, kept my student loans for 10. 6-figure earner, college educated dude. Ain't got nothing to do with your college degree out. That should tell you right there. Like, listen, for you debt slaves with these college loans, okay? If you have student loans older than the amount of time you went to school, you're not as smart as you think. Especially you guys with them advanced degrees. If your student loans, you're making all this money, but your student loans are older than your businesses, your practices, your career, you're not as smart as you think. Obviously, you're not. And then if you go to all your friends, because people in the debt matrix, they believe a doctor and their friends are somehow different than them and their friends because they don't make as much money. You guys are all in the debt matrix. You guys are just at different levels. You guys really believe economic classes exist: upper class, middle class, lower class. Those classes don't exist. You believe they exist in the debt matrix. They don't exist. You guys are in the debt class. That's all you need to know. So those doctors and lawyers you think are better, they got student loan debt just like you. And if you're listening to this and you're a person like that with a PhD and you're always bragging about doctor this and doctor that, I want you to talk to all your high class friends and ask them, do you still got your student loans? Do you still got your student loans? When they all say yes, that's why you guys are all friends. You guys are just in debt slave doctors. A debt slave who's a doctor. That's it. Nothing more than that. Debt slave who's a lawyer. Nothing. You guys are still slaves. And what you guys also don't know, you guys out there that feel bad about not going to college and all these people that went to school try to make you feel bad. You guys don't know you're way ahead of those people because you have no student loan debt. They're not going to tell you this. The people with the degrees, they're not going to tell you this, but I'm going to tell you. They wish they could be you. They got hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt and you don't. But see, you don't know that that's the difference. They got to pay back every single penny of that. You don't have it now. You are free to do what you want to do. But you so stuck on the program, you think that's the better. No, it's not. No. They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to say, man, I wish I didn't go the school route. They can't say that. And imagine this. Imagine somebody being pushed, like a young kid being pushed to be a doctor or something, right? And then deep inside, they really don't want to do it. And being pushed with nobody's paying for the college. They're getting student loan debt. And saying, hey, don't worry about it. You'll make a lot of money. You'll pay back that student loan, the same old program every day. And then all of a sudden, what if in the middle of it, they decide they don't really want to be a doctor? It's too late. You got $200,000-$300,000 in student loan debt. You can't go back because what you gonna do? Quit? What job are you gonna get to cover that amount of student loan debt? Now you're fucking trapped. Now you got to follow all the way through something that you already knew and halfway through that you didn't want to do. Too late. Got to go all the way, double that student loan debt. And this is what gets me. I don't really get this part, and it's kind of off subject about doctors and stuff. They make them go through all those years of school and then go to residency and pay them shit and pay them nothing. It's like, wait a minute. I went through all the, you guys know we have $300,000, $400,000 of student loan debt, and I got to do 4 years of residency off of shit pay. That's just the way it is. I don't get that. That shit makes no sense to me. None. Right. And then you better believe, guess what they're going to do? They're going to put those student loans in forbearance or whatever. You can't afford that amount of student loan debt on $50,000. That shit makes no sense to me. I don't know, man. It's just, I guess it's business. Hey, it's business. Okay, it's business. Because if you don't know, instead of parents just saying, "Hey, you know what, son, daughter, I fucked up. I wasn't good with my money, and I got no money for you to go to college." They go out, tell them to get student loans. Parents get Parent Plus loans, locking themselves in, and it's usually the parents. I bet you 9 times out of 10, the parents that are getting Parent Plus loans also have student loans, but also have made up in their mind that they're going to die with them. Imagine how many debt slaves have accepted, because I see it in comments and shit all the time. I see it in comments. They have accepted of dying with student loan debt. Would you guys, and if this is you, listen, this is what you're accepting of. You're accepting of dying as a slave, never to have ever to have felt what freedom feels like. You don't know that because you've never had nobody tell you that. But I'm here to tell you that if this is you, you have accepted of dying a slave by choice. It's your choice. The student loan place is not doing anything to you. The president is not doing anything to you. You are doing it to yourself. Doing it to yourself. You don't have to be some brainiac or whatever to understand the finance game. This is all you need to know. Trust your calculator. And understand this and never forget this. The ability to see negative numbers psychologically. If the majority could see negative numbers psychologically, millions of people would know they're not homeowners. I don't want that. You think I want that? I want the majority to continue to believe that. Because it has to be that way. It has to. But there also needs to be people that understand how it works, period. The people that understand there is no lying, cheating, stealing, scamming people, taking advantage of people financially. That's not allowed over here with the area I'm talking about. That is not allowed. And if you're doing that, you obviously don't know. And you don't know people like me can see you. Know why? Because it cannot make mathematical sense. If you're cheating somebody financially, whatever you're doing cannot make mathematical sense. That's why it's a scam. This is why we can see you. It won't make any mathematical sense. Same thing when you guys cheat on your taxes. It won't make mathematical sense. You're the only one that don't know that. You obviously don't know. You don't trust. You obviously don't know that you don't trust the calculator. Instead of cheating on your taxes, say, "Why am I cheating?" That's all you got to do. Answer that question. Say, "Why am I cheating? Why?" Because I'm just telling you, the business of you is not in order. You have the wrong EIN number for yourself. You got the employee identification number. That's the problem. Why do you have that one? Because you're in debt. You're a debt slave. If you don't own the business of you, you can't own a business outside of you. You can listen. You can never own an employer identification number. You can't, because you don't even own yourself. Aliens like me, we can spot you guys a mile away because you don't know we exist. You don't speak the language. Debt free is a language. And if you've been in debt all your life, listen closely. If you've been in debt all your life, you have no idea this language exists because you've never owned yourself. Never. You've never owned yourself. If you believe debt is just part of life, that's because you're a debt slave. That's not true. Who told you that? Your friends? Are your friends also telling you stress is just part of life? No, it's not. Debt causes stress. Get rid of debt, bye-bye stress. I'm going to say that one more time. Debt causes stress. Get rid of debt, bye-bye stress. That's how it works. But if you believe it's just part of life, that's just what you believe. And always remember, anytime you come to this channel, I want you guys to understand something. If my math is right, I'm right. If you don't believe it, you're wrong. That's it. That is it. Like and I always say this is like, I want you guys to see how I look at you guys when you do that. Well, like when I get on panels and I just spit mathematical facts and then I just listen to how a debt slave tries to come up with something to go around math. It is it's absolutely amazing to watch because there is no way around math. There is none. That's a fact. That's a scientific fact. 1 + 1 = 2, and there's nothing you can do about it. It equals 2. It just that's what it is. Those type of people I hear online say that they're going to move to different country because of student loans. I see that all the time. They say it out loud in public. That's embarrassing. You guys, do you know how embarrassing that is? You got so much debt, you're going to leave your country that you were born. Thinking it has something to do with your country. You borrowed the money, debt slave. You did it. Of course you got to pay it back. What do you mean? That makes no sense. Why do you think like that? Because you're a debt slave. And student loan debt, that's how debt slaves are created. The majority of you guys, because you're never getting out of debt. You're never getting out of student loan debt. The only person that can get you out of student loan debt is you. If you don't pay, listen, if you don't pay that student loan debt off, your EIN number will remain an employee identification number until you're fucking dead. You are the only one that can change it. You. And if you're saying stuff like this, hey, I'm gonna leave the country, or even if that's coming to your brain, that's a serious problem. You could never be where I'm at, ever. Never. You'll never reach this type of freedom, ever. You can't. And when I say freedom, I'm sure you guys immediately jump to monetary money. I'm talking about mentally. You guys don't know your brain is trapped in the debt matrix. You don't know because you're debt slaves by choice. In the span of 2 weeks, my bank increased my credit card limit and offered me a line of credit. They're scared. No, well, I wouldn't. Saying scared that's really, yeah, don't say that. They're not scared of anything. The banks control everything. They're not scared of anything. Because you got to remember this, Red. No currency exists for debt slaves. None. Gold, silver, dollars, whatever they believe they have locked in their safe and think it's worth some value, whatever. Hey, whatever debt slaves believe, you guys can do whatever you want, but nothing exists for you debt slaves. Nothing. I promise you, Red. They're sending me letters. Hey, why don't you send me your amount of money you make a year? You qualify for increase, and I just want to go. Hey, I'm not a debt slave. Okay, so stop sending me that stuff. When I get stuff like that, I immediately go log into my account and look at my settings and see if there's a check mark that says send me stuff. I just go in there and uncheck that because I don't want to know when my credit card or my credit score changes. I don't want to know what credit card the increase. I don't want to know none of that. And when I say banks, I'm talking about the central banks. I want to make sure it's very clear. I'm talking about the central banks. I'm not talking about local banks. I'm not talking about Bank of America, Wells Fargo. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the central banks. You're not walking in there and cashing a check, okay? You're not walking. They don't. I don't think they have roll up ATM so you can get some money out of there. I don't think that's not that kind of bank. All right. My spending habits haven't changed though. I have no debt. Yeah. I mean, when you say spending habits, what do you mean? Are they good spending habits or bad spending habits? I mean, they got to be something if you ain't got no debt. So, and it's when you have no debt, spending is very different because you got to understand. You understand phantom income too, so you got to include that, right? You include the money that they can see, and then the phantom income by not paying what the majority pay because you have cash, right? Because everything when they're in debt, everything they do is financed. Everything is attached to an interest rate because they have no money. Debt slaves don't know that, right? So they're everything they buy, not only they finance it, right? And if they don't have since they don't have the money to buy it, they don't have the money for the taxes for that item. So they're financing the taxes too at an interest rate. That's all phantom income that when you're not in debt, you're not paying that. So when we spend money, it's very different than when they spend money because money doesn't exist for them because they don't own the business of themselves. Trust me, it's a tough pill to swallow. I promise you that. To wake up and understand how it works. What's up, Nick? To wake up and understand how it works. I mean, it counts on your age. If you're young getting this knowledge, hey, congratulations. You already know you're going to be a multimillionaire. Congratulations. But, you wake up at my age and you realize what having student loan debt at this age really, really means. That's going to be a very big financial red pill to swallow. I don't want you guys, because I know you guys hear a lot of red pill, blue pill floating around. And I'm gonna tell you the type of red pill I'm talking about. I'm talking about the financial red pill. I'm talking about debt slaves. I want you guys to make sure there's a distinct difference from me and the rest of the fucking internet. I want you to understand that I'm different. That's why I got this up there. I don't look like that. I just want you to understand that I'm different. I have a gift and I fucking know it. And I can prove it. Now, you guys don't hear me swear that much. I just want you to understand when I do, it's to ignore the curse word. And I just want you to realize, why is he cursing right here in this part of his sentence, in this statement? I want you guys to understand how powerful it is. That's why I do that. So to get your attention. I thank the universe every day it woke me up in age 40. Thank God. Woke me up. Because I don't know what it would be like if with the interest too, woke up was still having student loans, but with 10 years more of interest. Oh man. Mm. Your personal EIN, and this is how you determine if you have an EIN number as employee or employer. Add up all your savings. Do not include anything with your name on it and the bank's name on it. Okay. Do not include that. I don't care if you think you have equity in something and whatever. I said, do not include anything with your name on it and the bank's name on it. Now, add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Now, you can add in anything with you and your bank's name on it. Okay. Anything with your name on it and the bank's name on it, it goes into the debt side. And then open up your calculator, put in your savings and minus your total debt and hit equal. If that number is negative, the EIN number you have is the employee identification number. I don't care if you own a business or anything. I'm just talking about you. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care how much money your business is making. I'm not talking about your business's EIN number. I'm talking about yours. If that number's in the negative, you have an employee identification number until you pay back all those people that you owe money to personally. You can't own an employer identification number if you have an employee on you. You can't do that. Who said you can do that? Your friends? I guarantee you they all have employee identification numbers too. Ask them. You making car payments? If they say yes, yes, they have an employee identification number. Employer identification number, they don't finance cars with them. Well, yes, they do. Under business. I'm jumping back and forth. Yes, they do under business. Excuse me. But not personally. Probably never heard that before either, right? You hear that EIN number, you automatically assume, oh, the employer identification number. No, what about? I'm talking about yours. It's just renamed the Social Security number. Just change it to what it is. It's a number assigned to you to work here in the economy of the United States of America. That's how you, just like when you go get hired at a job, you're assigned what? An employee identification number. That's how they know who you are. Yeah, your name is attached to it, but you also have a number. That's for business. When you have numbers, you don't have to worry about the spelling of anybody's name. Long as it's input right the first time, that's it. Then you go by the number. When they look you up, they're not really looking up, hey, look up Susie. No, they say, what's our identification number? It's business. It's nothing personal. Same thing with the business of you. That's your number, your Social Security number. But it's an employee identification number for you. Totally. And that's as long as you want it to be that way. Totally up to you. You can change it whenever you want to change it. Yeah, you got to pay back the student loan debt to ever change that. If you ever want an employer identification number for yourself, you have to pay back your student loan debt. You have to stop financing cars. You most definitely have to stop financing cell phones. You have to stop doing that if you ever want that number. Because I'm telling you right now, once you change the business of your number, your whole world is going to change. I promise you, for the good. You're going to understand how it all works. You're going to meet the right people because guess what? They're going to finally fucking talk to you. The majority of people that are way beyond me, they don't really want to talk to you guys. Because if you believe you're investing while having a mortgage, why bother talking to you? You can't do that. If you have a mortgage, car payments, you're financing your cell phone, and then you want to talk about investing in retirement. Why would we talk to you? Once you get out of debt and you're still working for somebody, you still have an employer, you're going to see the true purpose of 401ks and HSAs. You're going to see the true purpose of those things. Right now, debt slaves don't know what they think it's for retirement or whatever they believe. Hey, you guys believe whatever you wanted to believe. You can be whatever when they send you guys statements and saying, "Hey, this is how much money you're going to have by this age," and blah blah blah. Says who? The company? What are they doing? Telling you what's in your bank account right now? What are they doing? What they doing? Wait a minute. You need somebody else. Wait, check this out. If you need somebody else to tell you what age you can retire, how much money you're going to have to retire, if you need somebody else to tell you that, that's a problem. You have an employee identification number if you need somebody to do that. Somebody outside of you is telling you about your money. It makes no sense. CENTS. Most definitely do. That's the A. Andre, that is crystal clear. That is crystal clear. Understood. You guys don't even get it. Once you get out of debt, you understand to follow the rules. Follow them to a T. And listen, when you do, listen, you're gonna stand out because the majority don't. The main thing is this. This is the main thing. When you have no debt, they know you get it. They know you understand. The IRS knows you. If you have no debt, the IRS knows you get it. You're not going to try to cheat because they know you know because you have no debt. Why would you stay out of debt all your life and then start breaking financial laws later to get penalized to get put back in debt? That wouldn't happen. I would never do that ever. That would clearly say money rules me because I'm risking the time. Listen, I'm risking the time of my life for money. I'm not doing that. Money doesn't even exist for debt slaves. You will never know what I'm talking about if you believe debt is part of life. I'm just here to tell you that it's not. I don't want you guys to be jealous of people with better jobs, higher education. That shit don't mean nothing. It don't if they're making payments, they're just like you. Say like you know somebody that's doing better than you. Okay. They're two successful people together and their kids are going to private school and they got better jobs because they're better college educated. This all you got to do. Say, hey, you guys making car payments? If they say yes, they're just like you. If you're making car payments and they're making car payments, they're just like you. Their car payments are just bigger. You look at the mortgage, you got a mortgage? Yeah. Their mortgage is just bigger. That's all. It still equates to the same thing. You guys are in the same thing. If you have a mortgage, you just have a mortgage in your pay range, right? If they have a mortgage, they just have a mortgage in their pay range. That is it. You guys are still in the debt matrix. You guys still don't own nothing. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter where they go. It doesn't matter how they're dressed. It doesn't matter what kind of cars they drive. If they're making payments on them, that's why they're making payments because they couldn't afford to buy them. See, debt slaves, you guys don't know that. The very reason for having payments is because you didn't have the money to buy it. That's why you having payments. Now, the majority of you guys hear me say that. I know you guys don't hear what I'm saying, and I want the SMD family members, especially the new people. I want you guys to understand something. When I say this stuff out loud, they cannot hear me. You guys think I'm joking because they can hear the sound of my voice. They don't know the words I'm saying. That's what's so lovely about this gift. They have no idea what I'm talking about. None. Try to walk up to a debt slave that believes they're getting a 401k match, but they have student loan debt. Go up to them and say, "Hey, you can't get a 401k match if you have student loan debt. You know that, right?" They'll say, "What do you mean?" "Well, you can't match negative dollars. If you have student loan debt, that means your finances are in the negative. And if you're in the negative, you don't have no money to invest in anything." They're going to look at you like, what are you talking about?" And those of you that hear me say, "I want you to go do it. Go do it." And say, walk up to somebody that just got a car, but they financed it, and then ask them, "Hey, what was the sale price?" Watch what they respond with. "Oh, I got it for 29.5 or whatever, 49. I got a deal." No, you didn't get it for that. What are you talking about? You financed it for 84 months. The sale price of a car only applies to those who pay cash, not people who finance. Try to tell one of your friends that. They're not going to understand a word you're talking about. You'll never forget SMD ever. You'll never forget SMD. You'll never forget who helped freed you from the debt matrix. But please don't get me wrong, man. The debt matrix is it's it's a piece of art, man. It's a piece of art. You guys, when you get outside the debt matrix, you guys have no idea how many ads bombard you on a 24-hour basis. You are bombarded by ads. I mean, it is bananas. At first, when I was coming out the debt matrix, it's a slow process, right? When I was first coming out the debt matrix, I remember because I used to watch a lot of TV back then. And then I noticed commercials started bothering me. Right. And then I realized, and then I started looking back. I'm like, wait a minute, for an hour show, there's 20 minutes of commercials. Right before, when I'm in the debt matrix, commercials were just commercials. Okay, all right, TV show, commercial. You watch the commercial, but when you get out the debt matrix, you're like, damn, another commercial. And then all of a sudden, you see it across your phone, and then your laptop, and then driving down the street and billboard. I mean, it's people's cars. It's everywhere. If you don't, but the majority of debt slaves, you guys believe that shit is normal. Like, let me give you an example here. I live in South Carolina, and this guy named George Sink, S-I-N-K, is a lawyer, some kind of lawyer. This dude, I mean, this dude has commercials everywhere. And they're like stupid ass commercials. They are so dumb. They're just so dumb. But he bombards you with them. I mean, he's on the phone, he's on the TV, he's on the billboards, he's on bus stops, he is everywhere. It's just, but I get it. It's called consistency. If they keep doing that, and guess what his number is? All nines. He keeps saying it over. Hey, it's all nines. It's all nines. Just if you lock that into a debt slave's brain, when they get in trouble, they're going to say, "Hey, man," they're going to think of George Sink, and the number's very easy. What's the number? Oh, it's all nines. That's it. It's absolutely brilliant, right? But when you're out of debt matrix, it's fucking annoying. It's annoying. Yeah, you're right. That's what happens when you realize realize time is what matters. Exactly. You cannot have self-esteem and be in debt. You know what's so crazy about that, though? Debt slaves don't know that. You can't be in debt and have self-esteem at the same time because you don't own yourself. You have an employee identification number for yourself. That's your number for the United States of America. It's your choice to change it. That's totally up to you. You can change it from employee to employer, but hey, as along my journey, let me explain something else to you guys. It's hard for a reason. Because if it was easy, like debt slaves, you guys all want all the money easy. You guys want to be rich? Easy. You want to get the money fast. You don't want to put in no work. You don't want to sacrifice anything. And that's why they sell it to you, because that's what you have to do. You have to put in work. It's not going to just be handed to you. You got to do all the work that the billionaires and the rich people and the people that I'm talking about that are listening to this, if you're one of them, that understand how it works, the ability to see negative numbers psychologically. You got to do it all right. You got to follow all the rules of the wealthy people that put them in place. You're trying to become wealthy, but you don't want to follow the rules that the wealthy create. You can't do that. You can't break the rules of the very people that created them. What are you talking? And try to be one of them? You can't do that. That's impossible. Nor would that be allowed. You guys don't know that, though. You don't know that. You think but that's what young people think. They think they just be born and they're born into a system, and you think you're just gonna just ignore you're not gonna do that. You're brand new to the system. You think you're just gonna come in and just ignore the laws? No, you're not. Taxes are the key to wealth. Taxes. Taxes is the only guaranteed return on investment. Taxes. Guaranteed every single year. Every single year. Every single year. What's up, T. Cizun? Good friend of mine. Worked at Alaska Airlines together. Consider him a good friend. Really good friend. We've been friends ever since. That's back in my virtual computer days. Those of you that do not know, I was a virtual engineer for like 20 years. Now I don't even want to look at any of that stuff. I don't want to look at no computer screen all day. I don't want to do none of that no more. Nope. Keep that. I used to think I was cool looking at 4 screens at my desk all day. Are you debt-free, Heat? Are you personally debt-free? Within the business of you, isn't a high credit score still important? If you want it to be. If you want to continue to worship the credit gods, go ahead, man. Credit's a tool. Credit is a hammer. Credit is nails. Credit's a weed whacker. Pay less taxes in the majority in everything you do. Okay? That's the return on tax. That's the return ROI. Because you got to remember, debt slaves cannot reduce their taxes. They cannot. Okay? They're in debt. You have to, the only way you can reduce your taxes, you cannot be in debt. Always pay less in taxes, tax avoidance, not tax evasion, tax avoidance. And you can when you're not in debt. You can do that. Always. Always do that. And everything you do, that's called phantom income. The reason why it's phantom is because debt slaves can't see it because they're in debt. They can't see that. They don't know that exists. Like the earlier example that I gave you, right? When debt slaves finance cars, they finance the car because they have no money. That's why they're financing it, right? And if they don't have no money for the car, they don't have no money for the taxes. So they're financing the taxes too. That's called phantom income. Only debt slaves finance taxes. And since debt slaves have no money, that means they finance everything. Everything. So everything they buy, they're financing the taxes too. So when somebody goes and finances a phone, say like the phone is $1,500 plus tax. And say like there's almost $200. It comes up, the phone's 15, the phone comes up to 17 with tax. They're not financing just $1,500. They're financing $1,700. When somebody has cash, you walk in, you buy the phone plus tax, give them the cash, and it's done. You guys are financing that $1,700 over a period of 2 years. That's called phantom income. That's a tax that slaves pay for not knowing. They're slaves. They're debt slaves. Eventually, you will learn to receive taxes. Exactly. In the bigger scheme of things, you guys got to understand, everybody pays taxes, but you guys pay taxes differently. Taxes are really for you, debt slaves, for you. Of course, everybody pays, rich people, poor, but we pay different than you. You guys don't know when you're in debt, you can't reduce your taxes and all this other stuff, write off mortgage interest, write off interest on your student loans. You can't do any of that. That's an illusion, debt slaves. You can't do that. You're paying taxes that you can see, and you're financing them on the back end that you don't see. That's your problem. What's up, Andre Lewis? Exactly, Tyler. They're just tools. Money's a tool. Money is just a hammer. That's a weed whacker, because if you just, all you got to do is look up, hey, how much they make this for? 14 cents? Oh, yeah, that's obviously a tool. Because think about it. You go to the central bank website, they say, hey, this is how much we made a $100 bill for, right? And then they just scribble ink on it and say it's 100, and then they give it to the people, and the people think it's 100. Okay, whatever. That's like a $99.86 profit immediately. Go show a debt slave on the central bank's website how much they make money for. Just go show it to them. And then as they look at it, this is what I want you to say. Hey, what does that mean to you when you see that? What's that mean to you? They won't have an answer for you. You guys think I'm bullshitting. Go try it. Pull it up on your phone and say, hey, friend, whatever, family. Look, I looked how much they make money for. What's that mean to you? They won't have an answer for you. That's called a glitch in the debt matrix. They won't like, do you know they make $100 bill for 14 cents? Yeah. What's that mean to you? They will glitch out. There's no answer. Why they don't have? Because they're debt slaves. They don't have an answer. But they're in the debt matrix. Just like I said earlier, that's why debt slaves believe upper class, middle class, lower class exists. Economic classes don't exist, debt slaves, for you. You guys just believe they do. The only class you're in is the debt class. There's two classes, debt slaves, the debt class and the non-debt class. You are in the debt class. It doesn't matter. If you guys want to make levels within the debt matrix, you guys go right ahead. You guys want to continue to believe you own the equity in a house that you didn't even have the money to buy? You go right ahead. Go, hey, do your thing. Hey, whatever. Tell all your friends you're a homeowner and you didn't even have the money to buy the house, and you're telling them you're home. Hey, man, keep on doing it. Keep on trucking. I just want you guys to understand, there are people like me. You might got a friend or two. They're not going to tell you because it's pointless talking to you, especially if they still want to be your friend. They can't tell you that you're a debt slave. They're not going to tell you that you don't really own a house. They're going to continue to let you believe that you're a homeowner like them, because I guarantee the person I'm talking about, they own their house. They have the title. They're going to let you continue to believe that you are both homeowners. That's what they're going to continue to let you believe, because they want to be your friend. Because if they told you that you're really not a homeowner, if you have a mortgage, especially if you're a person that has refinanced their house 2 or 3 times and still believe you're a homeowner, they're not going to tell you that you are just fucking up. financially speaking. He said Morpheus. Demetrics. He says, on top of the money, the Federal Reserve profit from us. They also indebt our country to themselves. We owe them. Hey man, it's just business. I mean, it's all a choice. It's all. When they say the country's in debt, it can't listen. It can't be everybody. It cannot be everybody. When they say the country's in debt, they're saying the majority of the country's in debt. They just leave out majority. If they put in majority, you guys would probably like, huh? Well, why you say that? Just say the country's in debt. Still the same thing. Debt slaves, you guys can't be left to run around unattended. That cannot happen. You guys cannot be left to run around unattended. Because without you, there are no wealthy people. There can't be. You think the wealthy can be wealthy without you? No. The difference is the wealthy people know they need you. You guys just don't know the opposite. And you'll never know that. Okay. And I'm not, by me saying that, I don't want the majority to know it because I like it the way it is. It's a choice. You could choose to be on the wrong side or choose to come over to be with the wealthy. It's your choice. There's plenty of room over here. The wealthy are humans too. They die too. There needs to be people that understand how to replace them people. Can you imagine how few people there must be that really understand how it works? There's very few, very few. I'm sure I will never know, but it can't be that many. That's obvious that it's not many. There has to be people that understand the rules. And like I said earlier, no cheating, scamming, lying, hiding accounts, pretending you didn't have money on this electronic app and all this other stuff, and talking about Bitcoin is you can't collect tax and this. Hey, none of that. None of that. None of that. You guys must continue. That wouldn't even be allowed. That's so when you hey, listen, when you get outside the debt matrix, financial scams are so easy to spot. You guys don't even get it. I mean, some of these things, there's some things out there that are just like barely legal. It's just some of these things that they sell you guys, it's like, how is that legal? Like, here, let me give you one. Let me give you one. Okay. And I don't care. Let me tell you something. I don't care that it's not illegal. Okay. I just wonder why it's legal. When they let you guys roll negative equity of a car into a new car loan, like if they let you roll negative equity into a brand new car loan, I'm like, how is that legal? But then again, I think if you don't know that, you are a debt slave. I mean, what you don't know, you guys are like, when you do something like that, you are putting yourself so far upside down in that car and you haven't even drove off the lot. And you guys know, you guys believe, listen, you guys really believe a car goes down in value when you drive it off the lot. You guys all say that same stupid nonsense. You guys know it goes down in value as soon as you finance it. Soon as you walk on the car lot talking about you want to trade in your old car, but you owe more on than what it's worth. And they say, hey, we can roll that into the new car loan and spread it across fucking 12 years, and your payments will only be $100 a month. You guys say, yep. 72-month car loans, 84-month car loans. I saw one on TV the other day. 72 months, same as cash. Same as what cash? What are you talking about? There is no cash. You're financing for 72 months. Same as what cash? You obviously don't have no cash. And then they say, hey, you don't really have to go 72 months. You can pay it off early. If you're going 72 months, you're not paying it off early. 84 months. If you signed up for an 84-month car loan and telling yourself, oh, I'm not going to really go that long, I'm going to pay it off before. No, you're not. How do I know that? Because you signed up for an 84-month car loan. That's how I know. They know it too. Soon as I keep telling you, it goes back to the beginning of this video. They know the minute they run your credit report. Soon as they see you're in, well, they already know you're in debt if you're walking in financing a car anyway. I'm gonna just tell you that right off the bat. If you're walking in the car lot talking about financing a car, they already know you're in debt because only debt slaves finance cars. But your credit report is really going to tell them how they're going to abuse you, financially speaking. How they're really going to abuse you. If they can keep somebody all day if you prepare yourself when you're thinking about going to buying a car and you're preparing yourself to be at the car lot all day, you are a debt slave. That's called financial debt slave abuse. Because and it's to yourself. If you stay out all day at a car lot, you are a debt slave, waiting all day to sign yourself up for some debt. I could only imagine what they do back in those rooms when they act like they're going to talk to another person to get your car payment down or up or whatever the fuck they do. They're probably back there laughing and giggling. It's just business. Ain't nothing wrong. Hey, business. It's business. You're doing it to yourself. Doing it to yourself. I'm gonna wrap this up shortly, but let me just tell you something so you guys can really understand this. When your EIN number becomes an employer identification number, your whole entire life is going to change, including relationships. You're not going to date somebody with an employee identification number. You're not going to do that. You work hard to change your number from an employee to an employer identification number. You're not going to get involved with a person that doesn't know that. You're not going to do that. $20,000. Andre says 84 months. I know they smoked a cigarette after the signature on that. Oh yeah, you better believe that. 84 months. And you guys are financing the taxes too? Damn, debt slaves. Hey, listen, man. I'm not talking about you because I did it. Before I woke up, I financed several cars. Okay, let me make sure I wanted you guys to know that when I was in the debt matrix, I had some badass cars. And guess what? They were all financed. And out of each contract of what I did, guess what I was financing? I was financing taxes too. I was just like you. They're at the car dealership all day. They set up the little kiddie stations in the corner. You walk in with your kids. They try to keep you there as long as possible. Wear your ass out to where you assign anything because they always park the car right up in front of the window to keep you motivated to stay there. Only debt slaves finance cars. They financially abuse you. But that's called business. That's business, baby. Business. That's business. It's funny, man, because they did me too. Hey, check it out. I thought I was somebody because I had a good income and I was a college educated person with a good credit score, made all my payments on time. I thought I was a somebody. No, I was just a debt slave, a high paid one too. Now you do know I'm talking about the personal EIN number because people don't understand they got personal EIN numbers there, but it's a choice to be employer or an employee identification number. It's totally up to you. I'm just telling you guys right now, the majority of businesses you see that you deem successful and all this other stuff, the majority of those people got employee identification numbers personally. Okay. I don't care if they own an EIN number outside of business. You determine if they own themselves. Because if they don't own themselves, they don't own the business either. But they don't know that. Telling you, your whole life's gonna change. You don't have to worry about being wrapped up in child support court, family court, all this other stupid nonsense because you'll domestic violence and because you'll never date. The majority are debt slaves. And if you have a personal employee identification number, you're not going to associate yourself with those people. Ooh, man, they sure are. Yes, you guys are. And you guys that feel bad for not being going to college, you guys don't know you're in a way position. You don't realize you are closer to zero than them. That's all that matters. Who's closer to zero? And if you ain't got college debt, you are. Just like Andre says, that the educated, highly paid are most profitable because now they're usually trapped in that. They're trapped in whatever lifestyle they believe. They don't know they have a big shovel to get out fast, but they won't do that because they would have to reduce their lifestyle to get out of debt. And what they think in their mind, if they reduce the lifestyle, people will see that they have no money, but that's the problem. They care about what they care about what other debt slaves think about them. And vice versa too. If they reduce their lifestyle, they're going to immediately think the highly paid educated person is somehow losing all their money. They're in trouble. They went from this Benz to a Honda Accord. Something's wrong. You got to get over all that. You cannot care. Once you get out of debt matrix, you won't care the opinions of debt slaves. You just won't. You won't care what they think. You won't care what they say about you. You won't care that they believe you should upgrade your car. It doesn't matter what they think. They're debt slaves. Everything, it can only start with you. Everything starts with you. Everything. If you never forget that, you'll be wealthy. Everything starts with you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter all the millions of people outside of you don't know that's okay. That's their problem. They're debt slaves. Millions of people, even though they taught us this in elementary school, zero start. Everybody, the majority of debt matrix, people in the debt matrix, all have forgotten about the number zero. They all showed us this in elementary school. They showed us this number graph. The zeros in the middle. If you're looking at the graph, negative numbers on the left, positive numbers on the right. Green and red. Zero was just white. It was neutral. Millions of people have forgotten about zero. That's okay. Hey, that's their problem. I haven't. I did, but now I haven't. Yes, they do. Pay the most taxes. They own the most financial assets. Yes, they do. Have the most student debt. You guys don't. The majority of you guys don't know that. They would never tell you. They would never tell you. Like, imagine this. Listen, this is what I want you guys to truly understand something about highly paid people with hundreds of thousands of dollars of student loan debt. Listen, they cannot reduce their tax bracket. If you're making $300,000-$400,000 and you got student loan more than that, you cannot reduce your tax bracket when you're in debt. That's mathematically impossible. And usually those people on top of having $300,000-$400,000 in student loan debt, they have a big $500,000 house. Usually I'm talking about like surgeons or whatever, right? Let's just think of a high doctor, right? They usually have a house to match and a car, making payments on it all. Trapped themselves, totally trapped. And they can never reduce their tax bracket. They're paying the most in taxes. Just look straight at the top of the tax bracket right there. Yeah, that's where they sit, and they cannot reduce it when they're in debt. They don't know that either. They don't know that. Can you imagine making that much money but stuck in that tax bracket? Ooh, wee. Now on paper, don't get me wrong, on paper, they probably really believe that they are because the paper's showing them. You know, they probably do their taxes. Hey, yeah, I invested in my 401k and this HSA and a Roth IRA and I did this and that. Well, yeah, you did on paper. You did. But mathematically, did you do it? No. Did you do it? If you put it in the calculator, does it look like you did that? Then you didn't do it. I want everybody in this room to understand, if you're in debt, you cannot reduce your taxes. You can't. That's impossible. Now you're probably thinking, what do you mean? I can't explain it to you. I cannot explain it to you. You're in debt. You're a debt slave. All I'm saying is this. Once you get out of debt, you'll know not to cheat on your taxes. You'll know not to lie, cheat, and steal, scam people. You'll understand taxes are the backbone of the economy. Taxes are the only investment with return ROI every single year, every single quarter, every single whatever the fuck you want it to be. They return ROI because the majority can't pay it. They're in debt. No currency exists for debt slaves. Oh, that's my alarm. I'm timing myself because I'll be going for a long time. Anyway, I'll go about 5-6 more minutes. I'll get out of here. Hold on. Oh, yeah, about 5 more minutes. You guys don't even understand where SMD's going. I'm going. You guys don't even get it. I know you don't get it. I'm gonna be coming at you guys like unlike anything you've ever heard in your life. Never. And can prove it. Everything I'm saying, listen, everything I'm saying will always be right. You know why? Because I always trust the calculator. Everything I say will never, ever be wrong. You know why? Because I always trust the calculator. I'm going to just tell you guys right now, I keep reiterating this. They're going to say I'm some kind of financial genius or some stupid nonsense, some name they're going to try to associate with it. You know, hey, he's up there with Einstein and all this other stuff. They're going to do something. And I'm just telling you right now, it's none of that. None of that. None. I just trust the calculator. My gift, I'm telling you guys, my gift, the ability to see negative numbers psychologically. Something millions of people obviously cannot do. That's obvious. And when listen, even when I tell you guys this, I've never heard that in my life, in my entire life. I've never heard nobody say that. Not only the ability to see negative numbers, the ability to see negative numbers psychologically. I would have said, what does that mean? Because if somebody said that to me when I was in the debt matrix, I wouldn't immediately know what that meant, but I would look at the person and listen to the way they're saying it. I would say to myself, the way that person's saying it, they obviously know something that I don't. Because you can hear the way certain people talk. Like when you listen to me talk, you can clearly know I know something that you don't. That's clear. And I'm backing it up with mathematics. Now you're gonna be glitching out. You're gonna be like, wait, damn, that just doesn't make sense. But his math is always right. I get it. That's part of that's part of the glitch. That's part of the debt matrix. You're glitching out. It's okay. That's part of it. When you realize that you haven't been contributed to retirement, when you realize you're not getting a match on anything, you're not contributing to a Roth IRA, getting tax breaks, so you're not doing anything. Once you realize that, you're gonna have to swallow the big red pill. You're gonna be like, oh crap, yep, no, none of that exists. That's just for debt slaves that believe that whatever they believe is totally up to them. It's their choice. It's your choice. Like if you just financed the brand new iPhone 13, that's your choice. You did that. Only debt slaves finance cell phones. That's a red flag. What are you doing? You've been working all your life and you're financing cell phones? How long you been at your job? How many raises have you gotten? Wait a minute, and you're still financing cell phone and whoa, and you're getting insurance? What? And you finance the AirPods with it? And the case. And now, and the charger, they don't even put phones. Listen, they don't even put chargers in the man. They don't even put chargers in the cases no more. They make you guys finance those too. They are abusing you. You guys are financing all that. You're financing AirPods. Oh man. Congratulations, Apple. Hey, Apple, listen. I know you guys got people like me working for you, okay? Look me up. Come holler at me. Come holler at me. I know what to do. Hey, I know exactly what to do. Long as it's legal. Because I want you guys to understand, this is a superpower. I could use this for evil. I could use this for bad. I wouldn't do that though. I wouldn't do that because that'd be representing myself. Use it for bad when I don't have to. And when I say bad, I mean legally bad. Nothing illegal ever. When it comes to the financial game, do nothing illegal. Nothing. You leave that up to the debt slaves. Let them continue to cheat and not figure out why they're cheating. That's totally up to them. Leave it up to them. Here's the if you want a shirt, here you go. Put that link in there. I'll be doing this until the end of my days. I know the rich people and the wealthy people hear me. I know they do. I know you guys know I know currency in any form that it doesn't exist for debt slaves. I understand taxes are the backbone of the economy. Don't cheat. Don't do tax evasion. Don't be hiding money. Got it. Understood. Understood. Like I always say, taxes for you debt slaves. It's for you. It's for you. Everybody pays them, but everybody doesn't pay the same way. This is what gets me the most, okay? And then I got to get out of here. When you hear debt slaves always talk about tax the rich, tax the wealthy, that just cracks me up when I hear you guys talk like that. Even if they tax them, where do you think they're going to pass that tax? They're going to pass that tax right back to you, debt slaves. What are you talking about? Taxes are for debt slaves. You guys are the only. You guys look at them totally wrong. You guys have no idea. You guys look at taxes all wrong, all wrong. You guys are in debt. You guys pay for everything. So if taxes are raised, guess what? You're paying them. You can be mad all you want, but if you're making student loan payments, you can just continue to be mad. You're making car payments? Yeah, it's your fault. It's your fault. Your whole world is financed. And if your world is financed, you're financing taxes too, and everything you do, everything. What's up, Alonzo? Caught the tail end of the show. Got that off my chest today. Hope you guys learn a lot. Yeah, just pass it right back to slaves. I mean, I remember that when I was in the debt matrix, right? I remember, man, if you just tax the rich, aren't they just going to up the prices of the shit we buy? Yeah, that's it. They're wealthy because they understand taxes are the keys to wealth. Debt slaves. You guys don't know that. You guys believe it's the stock market. You guys believe it's some kind of cryptocurrency. You guys believe all that stupid nonsense. It's taxes. Pay less than the majority and you'll be rich. That's it. Because once you get all your taxes straight, the IRS is going to clearly see that you're playing the game right. There will be no mistake. You know why? Because it will all make mathematical sense. You think they're going to come knock on the door of a person playing the game right? You know how much work they got to do? And you think they're going to check on somebody doing it correctly? Come on, man. They got millions of people cheating. Their hands are full. I can only imagine. Especially in a time like this, I can only imagine. Anyway, let's wrap this bad boy up. Got to go. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Much appreciated. Till next time. Share this video if you like it, if you got something from it. There's my Cash App. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. If you like it, I like asking the people to hit the like button after the show, because I hate when people tell me to hit the like button when the show begins. I don't even know if I'm gonna like this show. Why am I gonna hit the like button if I don't even know if I'm gonna like it? I'll like it when I feel like liking it. Okay. So if you like this show now, go ahead and hit the like button. All right. I hate when people tell me to do that. Hey, hit that while you're in here. Hit that like button. I don't know if I like the show yet. I'm not just hitting it just to be hitting it because you tell me to hit it. Yes, you do, right there. That's exactly right. Step number 1, you must own yourself. That's step 1. You have to get an employer identification number for yourself. You have to change your social security number into an EIN number, an employer identification number for the business of you. Once you do that, then you go and get an EIN number for business because you're ready. But until that, you're not ready. Thank you, Andre, for joining today. Thank you very much. See you later, Aaron. Alonzo, nicer. Andre, of course, sir. Who else was up in here? Robert. Heat. T. Cizon. I don't know if you're still in here. Probably popped in and popped out. Zeke. Gabriel. All right, you guys have a good one. Later.